And if you download Power BI Desktop and you select Get Data, you can see all of the different data sources that the data can come from using Power BI. Okay, so it's just versatile, man. It's versatile and it's quick and it's efficient, and it's the wave of the future when it comes to big data. Now, of course, there are some other players out there in the big data arena that say, hey, well, our platform is just as powerful as Power BI. It may be. There may be other platforms out there that are just as powerful as Power BI, but this is the one I use. This is the one I teach from. Okay, so I'm getting a little too excited. Automating the reports. Again, I just spoke about financial statements and financial documents and stuff like that. But here's the deal. Power BI is bigger than just financial documents. For instance, if you're in management, if you're in the management department and you want to see the visualization of the performances within your organization, whether it be the performances of time, of phones or cellular data, or the performance of employees, or whatever type of metrics you're using within management, you can bring that into Power BI and you can create the visualizations to see what those performances actually look like in real time. Now, I don't think that I really spent a whole lot of time really emphasizing that Power BI is a data visualization tool. It takes big data, and when I say big data, it takes massive amounts of data. I'm talking about millions and millions of rows of data. And it allows you to create data visualization tools. That's why in the beginning I was speaking of what we used to use for Excel and the visualizations for Excel. You can create what Power BI allows you to do is create data visualization. And that data visualization looks like this. It looks like pie charts, histograms, bar charts, column charts, funnel charts, custom visuals. If you're off into Python, you can create custom visuals. Creating custom visuals using Python is another conversation. We'll talk about that in another video. But you're able to do it, right? I mean, it's just a bunch of different visualizations you're able to create, and you're able to look at these different charts all at the same time, all on the same page, like boom. So just to give you some idea of what Power BI is, it pretty much is creating dashboards. It's pretty much a dashboard, right? So if you look at your utility bill online, you look at your cellular phone bill online, at the end of the day, most of those things now are dashboards. Now, those particular dashboards are not the dashboards specifically that we look to create in what I teach in Power of the BI, but they are dashboards that can be created. They are the types of dashboards that can be created using what I teach in Power of the BI. The reason why I say that is those dashboards inside of those specific web applications are pretty much embedded. Those are embedded dashboards specifically. Not going to go too deep into that right now because just not going to go too deep into that. If you sign up for Power of the BI, and we'll kind of touch on that, and I'll give you more information on what that really looks like. But that's a little bit next level when we start talking about building dashboards. Before I go too much further, if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to this channel. That's right, like this video and subscribe to this channel. It really helps us out a lot for helping us to understand what you guys like and what you don't like, and definitely subscribing really helps us. And also, if you're interested in how you really can get into this profession, talking about building dashboards and Power BI, and you really don't know anything about this thing, and you're really not too sure about yourself, I've got a book over on Amazon. It's called The 6-Figure Cheat Code. I've got a book over on Amazon called The 6-Figure Cheat Code. The link is in this description. Go out there, pick it up, and you can get a very good understanding of how you can make money in this industry. But anyway, back to Power BI. Building custom dashboards is something I just touched on, which is a little bit different than embedded dashboards. It's a little bit different than embedded dashboards. Okay, so what a custom dashboard is, there are some templates that are out there. There's some templates out there that are out there that you can probably use for pretty much any type of situation. But when you're building a custom dashboard, you may, for instance, in your company, in your particular company, your colors may be, let's say, orange, white, and blue, or let's just say orange, white, and blue. And the text font, the font you use may be, I don't know, it's Seria, SEREI, I don't know, whatever the font is that you use for your company. So one is you can customize dashboards by color, and you can customize dashboards by font, right? Then you can bring in logos into your dashboard, right? So now you're really customizing that thing. But when you really get into customizing that thing, you format the dashboard for different measures. Now you say, well, what do you mean by measures? What do you mean by measures? What a measure is it's a formula, it's a calculation, it's like it's built from a programming language called DAX. Now, I don't want to scare you off. I don't want to make you think that this thing is too spooky, because it's not something that that you have to go real deep into learning computer programming. But the one thing I don't want to tell you is, I don't want to tell you that there's not going to be any programming. What I'm going to say is there's low code, not no code. There is low coding. And the reason why there's low code is because it allows you, one, to create custom visuals, right? And build custom calculations. And at the same time, what it also does is it enhances your skills. It enhances, who you are as a developer. Again, as a developer, right? So, I am not out to knock any of the tech businesses out there, the tech boot camps out there, because I actually went through a tech boot camp myself, right? Now, I did go through a tech boot camp where we did learn some coding, and it was SQL, and we do learn SQL in this particular, in my course, Power of the BI. I do make sure that you know SQL. I teach SQL in this course as well. But there are tech boot camps out there that, they emphasize there is no coding, and that's fine. And I totally 100% agree with those courses. Some of them, the ones that I know of. I don't think there's any that I know of that I don't agree with. But for the most part, I do agree that there's some things you can do that you don't have to code, right? But what helps is you having a skill set of understanding and being able to code code at least to some degree. If you can code to some degree, that's better than being able to code at no degree. And when you're in those interviews and in those conversations with those jobs, you probably would try to go after, and most are six-figure jobs that you would probably try to go after, that I encourage you to go after once you complete my course, Power of the BI. It really helps if you can speak on your ability to code. Now, that doesn't mean you have to go out there and know Java or Python. Python is a little bit different. I mean, if you know some Python, and I do introduce Python in this course, but I don't really go too deep into Python. In the next course, I do go deeper into Python. But in the Power of the BI, which is my basic course, I don't really go too deep into the Python development. But understanding DAX, yeah, you need to be able to, one, understand DAX, and two, be able to code in DAX. The other thing is SQL. I mean, to be a good DAX developer, a good DAX programmer, I didn't say programmer, but a good Power BI developer, you do need to know some SQL. You don't have to know all the intense pieces of SQL. Now, the boot camp that I went through, we had to go through some very intense training on SQL, right? I don't really use SQL. Now, I have classmates that came through that boot camp with me that do use SQL on a daily basis. So I'm not knocking SQL, and I'm not knocking the intense level of SQL It's just the direction that I chose to go took me in a direction where I didn't have to really spend time in the deep weeds of SQL. I just needed to know the things that I needed to know in order to create DAX calculations.